Hey everyone, I am an addict. I am not saying this to sensationalize anything. This is not a clickbait. I truly am an addict. The only thing is, what am I an addict of? I am not entirely sure. All I do know is there is certain things in my mind that is causing me to produce the kind of behavior which is not necessarily productive. And it shows up in many various symptoms. As an example, I know that I'm addicted to coffee. Why? And why is that a bad thing? Some of you be wondering, coffee is normal. Why are you? Well, here's the thing. What most people regard to as normal and as okay, if for as long as, hi Brendan, for as long as we keep doing it, even though we know that it's bad for us, that's an addiction, isn't it? So when it comes to coffee, I don't even like drinking coffee anymore. And I know that once I start drinking coffee, the temptation to eat other unhealthy foods will start to come. And I also know that my sleep will be affected. But lo and behold, this afternoon, I met a client at 2 p.m. in the morning. And guess what happened? I ordered coffee, even though it's the second cup of the day. Even though I don't feel like drinking it, even though I am already full of energy. And I know that when I'm full of energy, I drink coffee, I will get a crash, a caffeine crash. And that's exactly what happened in the middle of the session. So that is one thing that shows up. Another thing on how it shows up is when I'm stressed, when I'm working in the middle of when I'm working, when I'm in the middle of a project, the moment I get obsessed with anything, once again, the temptation will start to come. The temptation to do what? To stay obsessed with the work that I'm doing to the exclusion of everything else, to the exclusion of my health, to the exclusion of following through on certain plans, certain commitments for my well-being, to the exclusion of sleep. I would get obsessed with that. And I would then start to eat outside and do things outside, order out food, order in from Grab, McDonald's, and whatever not. And I know I don't feel good doing it, and I know I don't enjoy eating it. But it's like something hijacked. It's like something hijacked my brain and drove me like a puppet, to do certain things which I don't want to do. I'm an addict. And yes, I am not an addict of some drugs or alcohol. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't do drugs. But the kind of things, the kind of effect that it has on me is still damaging. And I've been combating this for so long. I've been combating it for all my life, and it started when I was young. I would not take care of my body. I would not take care of my health, and then I would get overweight, and then I would get panic. And once I panic, I would do all kinds of stupid things to lose weight. And just as I thought that it's gone, it's over, something happened, and I would go back into the same cycle again, over and over and over. 10 times this happened. Until I thought, even until recently, I thought that the solution is to learn how to love. And those of you who are watching, you know that this is what I've always been teaching you guys, right? That if you can just love what you need to do, you will never procrastinate. That if you don't like what you're addicted to, you wouldn't do it again. And you know what's funny? It worked. It worked until something happened. And again, the stories that I've been reading from the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous is the same thing. It's like it worked until something happened. And now, and I'm not sure if I know the final answer to this, but one of the things that Alcoholics Anonymous mentioned is that we are recovered, but we are never cured. We are recovered, but we are never ever cured. And because of this, we must maintain a certain level of vigilance, especially when it comes to things that will let us lose control. Alcoholics, they can be completely intelligent human beings, they can be completely productive human beings, but the moment they have a drop of alcohol, it's like an allergic reaction. The moment they have a drop of alcohol, all control goes out the window, gone. And so for them to have to carry this badge, says 30 days, 45 days, right? 6 months, 1 year, it's a badge of honor. Because it is difficult, it is tough to say no, it is tough to say, okay, I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna abstain. And it is so easy to just fall back into the trap of doing just a tiny little bit, and suddenly the mind gets hijacked to the point where we come up with 1,000 different reasons as to why we need to maintain. We need to do it. One more glass, one more drink, one more hit, one more shot. And you know what's the worst part for me is? The worst part for me is that I know that there are so many times in my life that I justify my behavior, saying that it's okay, I've earned it. It's okay, I have good metabolism. But look at the damage it's done to me. Just a short lapse of consciousness, and I'm back. Itchiness, skin. Today I've been applying. You guys can't see this right now, but on my arm over here, there's like a whole stretch of rashes coming out. And I don't know what the hell is going on over there, except that I know that I've had like 4 egg tarts yesterday night, when I know I shouldn't be eating that. And the night before I had I think I had burger or something like that, I forgot. But I've been eating a lot of inflammatory foods, even though I know that I have leaky gut, even though I know that I will be suffering from this, and yet I still do it. And so one thing rings true is I must admit that I've become powerless in the face of these kind of things, and I must rely on a power greater than myself to get through this, because I myself, my personal power is not enough to help me handle. And so I must first admit that I'm an addict, that what I consider to be me is not really me, that what my ego would like to think of as me being in control is just basically me being enslaved, that my intellect and my intelligence is all being used to justify my unproductive behaviors. I must admit that I'm an addict, and only from then, and from that point, I need to also admit that I must rely on a power greater than myself to help me work through this. And by talking to you guys, sharing all of these things with you guys, I don't know. I'm hoping that it gives you value, but at the same time, I'm hoping it also gives me value as a form of catharsis, to just being very, very honest, and to create this moral inventory of all of the things. Sometimes in certain discussions, I could go in it, and even now, sometimes, yeah, even now, I could feel myself getting angry at some people and in complete no control over what came out of my mouth. And then I came to regret it later on, even now, even after so many years of personal development. And I think it happens to, and I'm not sure if it happens to you. I think it happens to everyone, but I cannot judge for everyone else. I can only judge for myself. It happens to me. I think that's how I should end it. It just happens to me. Um, and that's all I feel like sharing today. I'll come back tomorrow. Hopefully my rashes are better and again are better now. I've been combating this for a year now. I've been working with this for a year now. It's really high time for me to. That's another problem with being an addict. You see, it's always high time. Every time we look at ourselves, it's okay. My life is a mess. I need to pick it up. I need to do something about it, and then we go back to the same usual routine. So I guess all I can say is it's a skill. It's a skill. And I am not speaking to you guys as an authority anymore. I'm going to speak to you guys as your peer, at least on the public space. I'm speaking to you guys as just another person who is also going through all the shit and struggles that you guys are going through, and hope we can support each other through this. That's all. See you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.